Oh, hi. I was hoping to, do live so that I could ramble on as long as possible without worrying about, this, that, this, but I need one more subscriber before I can do live videos. Just one. That could be you. You could be the one. Anywho, so I'm just gonna ramble through this as much as I can because particularly this episode, that's why I had to sit on it for so long. There's a lot going on. But my second viewing, I was able to calm it down to a lot less going on, so I'll just blurt out my bullet points. Another great episode. It's been a great season. Much different than the first, though. I gotta reiterate that. This season has been way different than the first. Almost feels like they abandoned a lot of stuff that they were setting up in the first season to focus on new ideas they have for the second season and not necessarily continue ideas they planned in the first season. Not that they're like, anyway, it just feels like it feels like season 2 is plan B and season 1 was plan A. I don't know. Anyway, and the opening credits again. Once again, they ended with the pulling you from the sky, just like love will do, pulling you from the ground, just like love will do. So I guess love's doing everything these days. They say, some say all you need is love, but others say love is not enough. Um, so it's interesting that they seem to be sticking with the change in the theme. I there was a moment when what's her face is this is my tooth, it's my relic, it came to me, so Soul wanted me to have it. I can feel its power, she says. I can feel its power. And Marcus goes, "What's that? You feel something has power? All right. You said that belonged to a king? Well, I'm the king now. Hand it over." So that's cracking me up that Marcus said, "Oh, your necklace has power? Then it's mine. Because I'm the king and I need the power." So he be tripping. He's trying to find ways to fulfill him being the prophet when I don't think he really is. He might be delusional. I mean, is it him? Is it Paul? Is it somebody else? Is it a robot? Who knows? Maybe it's grandmother. So they keep referring to this new android that father farmed as grandmother in the podcast, but we have yet to give her a name in the actual show. So obviously that name will be grandmother, but we haven't gotten there yet. But I guess I'll call her grandmother, which implies that she's a woman. Somebody pointed out, I was like, "Oh, I think it's mother from the future," and somebody was like, "Actually, the actor that's credited for the role is a black woman, so you're wrong." Okay, cool. I'm glad I was wrong. I didn't look into it, because then I would have known. I wanted to discover it when I saw their hands and maybe form as I was watching this new episode. So now I know that I guess it's not Mother from the future, since it's portrayed. But I mean, it could be, but apparently this character is portrayed by an African American female. Great. I was wrong. People go, you're wrong. Cool. That's the enjoyment of watching a show and having theories. I want to be wrong. That means I didn't predict it. Unlike some recent movies. Anyway, so then I'm like, well, is it father? I don't have confirmation, whoever is playing this character, that it's a female. All we see is a veil. It implies female. But maybe it's father from the future. I don't know. There's something going on with it. But then the interesting thing is Tempest. It's Tempest, right? I guess they're setting up a romance between her and the other dude. I don't really like the other dude. Tempest, I don't really like either. But never mind. Him and the dude and Tempest stumble upon grandmother, and then you see that the veil can. I mean, first of all, the way grandmother talks is fantastic. I love the harmonial, weird synthesized music thing. It's very cool. And the whole seeing projection on the veil thing, I like that. And when you project the baby, like looks at Tempest and it's like, "Ooh, baby, you have baby." But I'm wondering, is it like, "Oh, this person's pregnant"? Is it like, "Oh, hey, look, let me show you your baby. It's a boy," whatever. Or is it doing something to the baby? Okay, now that will be an necromancer. I don't know. This seems to be the mystery of the season, is this grandmother thing, and there's only 2 episodes left. So is that all we're gonna get? Is what this thing is, and then moving on to maybe a season 3? I'd like a season 3, but at this rate, I'm starting to wonder: will we get a season 3? Is anybody watching this show? I don't know anybody who's watching this show. I barely now know maybe 1 or 2 people who started checking out season 1, but it's too smart for people. People don't like to think. That's why I think season 2's kind of dumbed it down. They're spelling things out a little bit more. Season 1 was a lot more philosophical, where season 2 seems to be just more story driven. Everything's, everything has a purpose now, where before it was like, ooh, does this have a purpose? There seemed to be more mystery in season 1, where season 2, they're like, what does this mean? It means this. I'm like, okay. But speaking of what the heck, well, first of all, we come across the temple. I'm glad we found a new temple, and this temple is cracked open. And even Marcus was like, we found one of these temples last season. I'm like, yeah, it was one of the great mysteries. And now they're like, oh, here's the reveal. Inside the temple, it's hollow, and that's why it was so warm in there, because it's using the warmth of the planet through one of the holes. We build the temple on the hole for the... Makes perfect sense. I love it. It adds up. It's great. But then he finds this mechanism, which I think the thing was supposed to be on the outside, and it was supposed to do this, but then there's a switch, and then when she puts her arm in, which is a lot shorter arm, and then she doesn't even put it in as much, she still finds the switch. But whatever. It's the little things. Let's not nitpick. Semantic. Oh, shiza. But I just was really, really excited that it all kind of came together with the planet, the temple. That's why it was hot. Couldn't get inside. But then they find this thing that seems to be coming from nowhere. I must be one heck of a weird sealing mechanism that they kept out of frame. Nitpicking. We got the cage comes down. Hey, Marcus, hop in. We're going to go down in the pit. Sure, why not? Sounds like fun. Catch y'all later. But you won't. Spoiler alert. Spoilers, by the way, in case... Anywho, this is episode 6? Episode 6 of Raised by Wolves, season 2. So he goes down there. That's a grand old time. Where do I start with these last 2 points? Okay, Marcus goes down there. He finds this creature that looks like it's straight out of Prometheus. Makes sense, right? Ridley Scott. Although I don't think Ridley Scott's hand is in season 2 nearly as much as it was season 1. He seems to be stepped back quite a bit this time. But this creature that looks like some kind of Prometheus alien, and then all of a sudden it's alive, and it's like, oh my gosh, it's one of the things, and they devolve, right? But this one's not devolved. Maybe we'll get some answers. And then the tooth that Marcus conveniently took because story reasons. This season seems slightly lazier than season 1 now that I think about it. I hope this creator has a brilliant idea in the end, and it doesn't turn out like he's just an idiot and is stupid. Because I recently saw something yesterday that I've been looking forward to for years and was very excited about and figured it would be brilliant and perfect and the best ever, and then it turned out to not be that, and it was kind of silly and dumb and ridiculous. So I didn't like it. I'm getting off. So Marcus finds this alien, and then the tooth all of a sudden disintegrates into the alien like some kind of virus. When I first watched the episode, I didn't know what the heck was going on. But apparently, after watching I haven't watched the podcast to really know and understand what's going on. But having watched the podcast, the tooth was made of nanobots, I guess. And it turned into nanobots, which then went into the alien, which then triggered him to devolve instantly, right before our eyes. Pretty quick. Okay. And then just as quick, get capped in the head by Marcus. The end. So now what's up with the tooth, and what's up with the alien, and what's up with the devolving? Let's wrap up our discussion in a part 2. And then we'll get that 1 subscriber so I can go live, for goodness sake. Be right back.